with your Pip-Boy on your wrist.
Welcome back to the Dusty Signal, my little devils. Pull up close. We're getting after this one, quick like. But first, I gotta ask you something. You ever have a dream that you just can't shake? The kind that follows you around all day like it's got something to say and you just can't quite hear it? It's like your mind's trying to hand you an answer to a question you ain't even asked yet. Well, sugar, our boy Nate's been having those kind of dreams. And tonight's tape starts with one that's gonna sit with him a while. He has the questions. Will he find the answers? Tape 18 is now rolling.
Log 018, November 8th, 2287, Forward Base Alpha. There's something grounding about being back here. The generator hum, the sightlines I know. Sitting on a bed inside a shelter that I built myself, on the top of the station that nobody else is at. It's not much, but it's mine. I need to run through today before I sleep. There's a lot to unpack, and as usual, my brain won't quiet down until I do. I'll start with another dream. They're coming more frequently now. I slept hard after recording last night. 8 full hours. My body needed it too. My mind did not cooperate though. I hate it when that happens. When your body rests, but your mind doesn't. You still feel tired. And it's all because of the dreams. Man, I could do without the dreams. I was in a room. White walls, stainless steel counters, bright fluorescent lights. The kind that don't flicker and don't warm up. They just exist at full intensity like they've never heard of mercy. 5 Seans were standing in a circle around me, all looking at me. 5, not 1, 5. Different ages, maybe 3 years old on one end, maybe 60 on the other. All of them pointing at me, all of them laughing. I couldn't move, couldn't speak, couldn't do anything but spin in the middle of that circle, while their laughter grew louder and more sinister. The spinning got faster and faster, and the laughter was louder and louder. Then, a bright light, like the sun itself, exploded, and a loud bang, and everything just went black. I fell out of bed and hit the floor, hard. I was covered in sweat, heart racing, head pounding. I've been trying to figure out what the hell that dream meant all day. What the hell is my brain trying to tell me that I'm not hearing when I'm awake? 5 Seans? Different ages? The Institute has had him since he was an infant. I've suspected for a while now that he's older than a baby. Kellogg even confirmed it. He was 10 when Kellogg lived with him in Diamond City, and I just missed them then. He's around 10. So what are the other ages? What does my brain know that I haven't let myself think about yet? I don't have an answer, but the dreams keep getting weirder and more aggressive. I'll figure it out. I hope, anyway. I walked out of the hotel this morning, and there was a scene in the street. Good neighbor guards. A body on the ground. The body was of a man named Sammy. They said he'd been acting strange lately. Started doing things he normally wouldn't do. He stopped drinking, stopped cheating on his wife. So they shot him. Just a little while ago. That had to be the noise I heard in my dream. He stopped cheating on his wife. That's what got him killed. Somewhere in Good Neighbor, a man decided to be a better person, and his neighbors told the guards, and they shot him for it. I checked the body, synth components, and those don't belong in a human being. They said he was fine a few days ago, which means either Sammy was always a synth and nobody knew, or Sammy was replaced. Either way, no one noticed. I don't know which is worse. If he was always a synth, he was just a man living his life, drinking, making bad choices, being human in every way that matters. and they shot him for stopping. If he was replaced, then where is the real Sammy? What happened to him? Does his wife know she's been living with something that isn't her husband? When was he replaced? How the hell did the Institute replace him without anyone knowing? I'll say this much. Of all the things that might give away a synth infiltrator, deciding to stop cheating on your wife has to be the most uniquely tragic tale in the history of intelligence failures. The real Sammy apparently had worse impulse control than his replacement. I don't know whether to laugh or be disturbed by that. If the real Sammy was a degenerate and he was replaced, why was the synth that replaced him also not a degenerate? Does the Institute not use the person's brain? Their memories? They would have had to, right? Otherwise, the synth would not fit in at all. So why did this guy not just continue to act as he always did? What am I missing? I made a note of all of this in my data file for Vault-Tec. The Institute and Vault-Tec have to be connected. How else would they have known exactly where to find Sean? They have to be connected. Before the bombs fell, my team and I were investigating big tech companies. Our intel led us to believe these companies were up to something world-altering, and me and my team were sent undercover to get answers. Maybe this is what they were up to. They would have had 210 years to perfect the technology. I don't know. I made my notes and moved on. I had my own mission to get back to. My power armor still needs repaired, but I have to gather more supplies first. I need a lot more steel, some gears, springs, oil, and probably duct tape to get it in condition for the glowing sea. Anything that I find that I can disassemble for these parts, I keep in my backpack. I left Good Neighbor and headed for Sanctuary Hills. I needed to talk to Preston, because he might know about a radiation suit, and that would speed the mission along. About 30 seconds after I turned the corner from Good Neighbor, the mass fusion building lit up with gunfire. Not raiders, not super mutants. Uniforms, military-grade weaponry, staggered fire. They were reloading at intervals, maintaining coverage. These people had training, not special operations training, not the kind of discipline I'd expect from a professional military unit, but compared to raiders, these were a completely different category of threat. I fell back toward Good Neighbor's entrance, used an old sign for cover. New sniper rifle earned its keep, picked them off from distance before they could adjust their position. Checked the bodies after. Uniforms marked gunners. So that's a thing now. A mercenary organization with actual training and actual weapons operating in the Commonwealth. I need more intel on them before I run into them again. Who they work for, what their operational territory looks like, whether they're connected to the Institute or just another layer of chaos. Luckily, there were only 3 of them outside the building. I filed it and moved on. I wasn't about to go inside or leave a trail for others to track me. I field-stripped the bodies and moved out quickly, head on a swivel. A few minutes later, a distress call came through on the Pip-Boy. Caravan east of Watts Consumer Electronics was under attack by robots. Why not, right? Hell, everything else in this Commonwealth wants to kill ya. Why should they be left out? I started booking it that way. They weren't far, so it wouldn't take but a few minutes to get close enough to make a hasty plan. As it turned out, I was too late anyway. The caravan was already gone, destroyed by robots. Powerful ones, apparently. Robots that were heavily modified. The only survivor of the attack was Ada. And Ada is a robot as well. Her creator, a robot genius named Jackson, didn't make it. And neither did the other robots he'd created. Ada said they all had upgrades thanks to Jackson. She said that these upgrades were desirable to someone called the Mechanist. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm running out of room in my brain for new categories of wasteland insanity. Deathclaws, behemoths, feral ghouls that act like a hive mind, super mutants with Shakespeare, synths that get shot for self-improvement, mercenaries with military training. And now a robot collector called the Mechanist is hunting other robots for spare parts. What the actual fuck is going on out here? Ada wants me to help her find the Mechanist. She wants justice for Jackson. I understand that. I do. But I have a son in the Institute and a trip to the glowing sea to plan, and I am only one man. I sent her to Forward Base Alpha, told her to wait. She's here now, actually, parked in the corner. Occasionally makes a sound like a coffee maker starting up. It's unsettling. I was too late for that caravan. Jackson didn't make it because I wasn't there in time. I know I couldn't have known. I know the Pip-Boy call came after the fact. I know there's no version of today where I could have been there when it happened. I know all of that. I do. But it still bothers me. Every time I think I have a handle on what this world needs from me, it shows me something else that's broken. Something else I couldn't fix. Someone else I couldn't reach in time. Someone else I couldn't save. I'm trying to make the world a better place. Maybe the world doesn't want to get better. Or maybe it just doesn't know how anymore. Ten Pines was on the way back. I checked in and dropped off ammo and supplies. Set up some turrets for their perimeter. They were grateful. Told them I'd be back. Those two people on that hillside are still there. Still farming. Still choosing to exist in a world that keeps trying to convince them not to. That's worth something. That's worth everything, actually. I needed that reminder today. Forward Base Alpha. Generator hum. Clean weapons on the table next to me. Ada making coffee maker sounds in the corner. Coffee would be a welcome guest right now. Tomorrow, Sanctuary Hills. Preston. Power armor. Radiation suit if he knows where to find one. He will no doubt have another settlement that needs my help, though. I need to start planning the glowing sea approach properly. Not guesswork. A real operational plan with contingencies and supply requirements, and an extraction route if things go wrong. Brian Virgil is somewhere in there. A doctor who went rogue from the Institute. Who knows things about getting in that nobody else does. The Institute will send someone else when news of Kellogg's death reaches them. He's my next lead. He's my way to Sean. To the Institute. I just have to survive getting to him first. The dream keeps coming. 5 Seans. Different ages. I'm missing something. I can feel it. This is Staff Sergeant Nathaniel Campbell. Out.
Huh. 5 Seans. Different ages. I've been sitting with that image since I first heard this tape. And I think Nate's right. He's missing something. Something big. His brain keeps trying to hand it to him, and he keeps almost grabbing it. He can sense the answer. It's out there at the edge of his mind, just dancing in the fog. Just out of grasp. Now, sugar, I ain't about to tell you what I think it means. That's his to figure out. But I'll say this much. When your dreams keep popping in your old noggin, you probably want to pay attention. Now, the Sammy incident. A man stopped drinking, stopped cheating on his wife, started being better, and they shot him for it. I've known this world to be cruel my whole life, grew up in it. I learned early on that kindness gets you killed and trust gets you robbed, and the safest thing you can be is small, quiet, and hard to notice, or a stone-cold killer. I've lived that for a long time, and I still believe it, most days anyhow. But here's where our boy Nate is just different than most. Most folks just saw a dead man, but not our boy, not old Nate. He didn't just see a dead man on the street. He saw a question. Was Sammy always a synth? Or was he replaced? And if he was replaced, why didn't the replacement just keep acting like Sammy? Why change? Why become better? What does it mean that a machine made to infiltrate human society chose to stop cheating on someone's wife? Nate connected it to Vault-Tec, to the Institute, to his team's investigation before the bombs fell. And he may be right to connect those dots. The Institute didn't appear out of nowhere 200 years after the bombs. Rumor has it, the Institute was created by survivors from some high-tech school in the pre-war days. Maybe someone was planning for a world where they'd have that kind of reach, that kind of technology, that kind of patience, even before the bombs fell. And we know from Nate's own mouth that someone, he called them his handler, sent him to Sanctuary Hills to make sure he and his family got into that vault. Now, I don't think that's a coincidence. I reckon Nate doesn't either. He filed it away for now. He said something else that I want to sit with for a spell. He said, maybe the world doesn't want to get better, or maybe it just doesn't know how anymore. Sugar, I've thought that myself. Maybe you have as well. The world's cruel and dangerous and self-serving, and it will eat you alive if you give it half a chance. I'm sure you've seen that firsthand yourself. Now, I spent most of my life believing that, acting on it, becoming something hard enough to survive in it. Then one day, I found a busted old Pip-Boy in the wasteland and started listening to a man who keeps trying to make the world better. Not because anyone tells him to, not because it's tactically sound, not because it benefits the mission. I mean, it does help his mission, and it is tactically sound. But that's not why he does it. He does it because it's just who he is. And he proved that again on today's tape. He stopped at 10 Pines just to check in. Nobody asked him to. Nobody would have known if he hadn't. He just went, dropped off supplies, set up turrets, told them he'd be back. 2 people on a hillside trying to grow food in irradiated soil. He went back for them. That's the same man who cleared Vault 114 without mercy, who watched a raider bleed out on the floor of the Museum of Freedom and said he wasn't proud of it, who knelt beside the man who killed his wife and handed him his gun, who nearly drew on Nick Valentine in a hotel lobby. Nate is all of that, and also a man who looks after the downtrodden. He's a killer and a conscience at the same time. Both of those people are real. Neither one cancels the other out. Maybe that's what the world needs. Not someone who's only good, not someone who's only dangerous, but someone who's both, who chooses every day which one shows up. You also have choices, my little devils. You can choose to be good, be bad, stay in, go out, help or not. And you can choose to write to your favorite radio host. Or not. The courier network's open. Keep the letters coming, my little devils. Tomorrow, Nate heads to Sanctuary Hills. The glowing sea is getting closer. Stay close to the signal. Stay alive. Stay strange. Dusty, out.
Stay close, my vault dweller. Don't roam too far from me. With you I build our paradise beneath the desert sea. Oh my Callan, you make my heart far away.
This is Garrett Klein, the one-man creative force behind the Dusty Signal podcast and the solo creator for Classic Me Studio. The Dusty Signal is a fan fiction audio drama that's set in the Fallout 4 universe. Fallout and all related properties are owned by Bethesda Game Studios, and no copyright infringement is intended. This is and always will be a free, non-commercial production. Created, written, and produced by Garrett Klein for Classic Me Studio. Voices were created using 11 Labs AI voice technology. Original song, Vaulted Heart, was created using 11 Labs music generation software. Sound design from Audio Hero, 11 Labs, and My Imagination. Genuinely thank you for listening, and I hope you're enjoying it.